clinical trials. Okay, now I'll go back to that because what I'll do, I'll show you a clinical trial that was taking place. There was 230 men who participated in this trial. This study was done in a hospital. Since 1992, this hospital used acupoint irradiation with red light therapy in total for 230 people. They say the results were good, and the report is as follows. This document is a translation from Chinese text, so it is not readily available. If you do a Google, you won't find it. But I really must find the original. I've got to ask for the original again from the hospital. Okay, well, 230 people, men, aged between 50 and 80, took part in this experiment, if you like. The shortest time for the treatment was 1 year, and the longest was 10 years. So we're not talking like a one-time treatment or a treatment for a week. It's like a continuous thing. Okay, now all patients had excessive nocturia. That is the need to wake up in the night and go to the toilet multiple times. An inability to urinate immediately when wanting to. Slow flow, and they had other conditions that were typical of prostate problems. They were diagnosed as having a prostatic hypertrophy, that's a swelling of the prostate gland, by digital rectal examination. That is putting your finger, the doctor placing their finger where they shouldn't place their finger, and also through ultrasound examination. Okay, the device was positioned correctly, and what's important is there's a single very, very powerful LED which must shine in a particular location. It's an acupoint location. It's important to have it very powerful so it delivers the necessary energy. Okay, the treatment time was 30 minutes once a day, and the course of treatment was a 10-day treatment. But after the 10 days, they'd repeat again. It's the way that the translation makes it sound funny, but they couldn't have written, they just continued it at all times. Okay, now irradiation for 1 to 2 courses. So that will be 10 to 20 days. Complete recovery means the symptoms disappear and the prostate size is normal when on digital rectal examination. They defined markedly effective as the symptoms being significantly improved and a reduced prostate size. Effective they defined as reduced symptoms, but the prostate size remained unchanged. Now the results from the 230 patients were 49 cases completely recovered, which means their prostate shrank down to normal size and they had no more symptoms. 141 cases were markedly effective, which means reduced symptoms, markedly reduced symptoms, and the prostate size was reduced. 40 cases were effective with reduced symptoms, but the prostate kept the same size, which means that the total effective rate was 100%. It's very interesting indeed. There's another document I want to show you. There's a clinic in 2006. 30 patients were treated with LED prostate treatment with an LED prostate treatment instrument, and significant results were achieved. Now, we have been working with researchers to help, so this is one reason why it's been taking so long. Now, 30 people with prostatic hyperplasia, swollen prostate with the associated conditions, came to this clinic. They were aged 46 to 79. And being a technical journal, they go into the the exact ages and ranges and things, but the clinical manifestations of their prostate issues were waiting for urine flow, urgent urination, frequent urination, and their frequent nocturia, which is the dreadful one of having to wake up, go toilet, come back and try and go to sleep again. Incomplete urination, having to try really hard to go toilet, and dysuria. And there's two cases, two of the men had a dull pain and a burning discomfort. They're talking about the drugs that they used before the trial. These drugs are mostly Chinese drugs. Usually drugs which are prescribed here in China are derived from herbs. But it's the proportion between those kind of drugs and Western drugs is getting less and less as time goes by, which is a shame. Now, among them, 14 cases showed no significant improvement in symptoms and signs after treatment. Now, this is after treatment of the drugs, not from the LED device. In two cases, two people had tried acupuncture, radionuclide radiation, and electrostatic field treatment, and they too showed no improvement. 5 of the people had hypertension, 10 had coronary heart disease. We had people with diabetes, lack of allocation, and all sorts of issues, fatty liver. So these people weren't models of health, okay? They did have other health issues. They had tried drugs, they had tried different treatments, and none of them showed any improvement whatsoever. They talk in the method about the light source that was used, 52 millimeter diameter, single LED source, and a LED blanket type device, which I'll be showing soon. It looks a bit like the Star Wars device. In fact, you keep it away from children for that reason. And it's showing where they explained where they placed the small light source and the larger light source, and fast forwarding to the result. Okay. In the 30 patients, 17 cases were markedly effective. 11 were effective. 2 cases were ineffective. And the total effective rate of the treatment was 93.3%. They also did a questionnaire where the participants were asked about their quality of life, and that increased markedly, as you can see here. But there were still 2 people that were ineffective, and it's interesting to note that the 2 people where it was ineffective were both over 65. Because the participants also had other underlying health issues, it could well be that it was due to those, particularly looking at the age of 65. Because as one gets older, you tend to pick up other health problems and carry them. Okay, so that's the other course, the other article I wanted to show you.